One of the worst things that can happen to you is your website crashes, or maybe your theme or some different plugins breaks your website, and it causes, errors on your website, and you lose all of your data and all of your files. So to combat this from happening, we need to install a plugin that will automatically back up your WordPress website. So the best plugin that I recommend is called Updraft. So just type in the word Updraft and you're going to find the Updraft Plus WordPress Backup plugin. So go ahead and click Install now and then activate it once it gets done installing. So there are other backup plugins you're going to read about, like Backup Buddy and BackWP Up, Backup WordPress. There's 5, 6, 7 other backup plugins that you're going to see a lot of people recommending. And Backup Buddy, I believe, is the one. That one costs money to join. So the paid and the other free ones, I've tried out different ones and they've all got their issues and errors, and Updraft Plus is probably the best one that I've had no issues with, and that's why I'm recommending it for your website, and I use it on my websites. So like I said, it's free, so you can install, activate it, it's free to use, and then what you're going to need to do is you're going to back it up to a third-party website. So after you activate it, let's go ahead and get you to the settings. Alright, so inside the settings of Updraft Plus, you're going to see where you can click Backup Now, Restore, or Clone/Migrate. So first what we want you to do though is we want you to go into the Settings tab, and you're going to find Files, Backup Schedule, and Database Backup Schedule. So these are two separate things you're going to be backing up, but it's all going to be in one file. So to explain it better, files is basically anything to do with your plugins and your theme and the different files on your website. So database, on the other hand, is where all your blog posts go and your web pages. So anytime you publish a new blog post, it goes into the database, whereas when you add new plugins, those would go under files. So since files are like things like your plugin, your themes that aren't updated quite as often, you probably want to back this up weekly, and we want to retain 2 backups. Now when it updates each week, it'll go ahead and it'll delete the oldest backup, so it'll keep the 2 newest backups at all time. And then your database backup, which includes your blog posts, we would recommend doing this daily, so that every day as you're adding new content to your website, it's getting backed up. And typically I would recommend keeping 7 backups of so you can back up the last week. So each day it's going to back up, and it's going to back up the past week's worth of databases, so that in the case that you have to restore any settings, you've got multiple copies of each to go restore. So once you've set those to weekly, daily, 2, and 7, next it's going to want you to choose a remote storage place that you're going to store your backups. So you've got different options here: Google Drive, Dropbox, Microsoft OneDrive, or you can store it in your FTP client. I'm probably going to use either Dropbox or Google Drive. Dropbox gives you free storage space up to 2 gigabytes, and I think Google Drive gives you up to 15 gigabytes of free storage space. So it depends on your personal preference, which one you like better. They've also got the Amazon S3 if you use that for any storage. So in this case, I'm going to go ahead and sign up with Dropbox to start, but in the future I may switch to Google Drive as my website gets bigger and I need more storage space. So once you've selected Dropbox, you can come down here and it'll say after you've saved your settings. So in a minute we're going to click Save Changes, and then we're going to have to come back up here to authenticate with Dropbox. In the meantime, you want to make sure that your plugins, themes, and uploads are all checked. So when it goes to back up your files, it's going to back up your plugins as one set of files, and it's going to zip them together in a file. Then it's going to back up all your themes and zip them together in a file. And then your uploads, which is your media and images, so it's going to zip all those into a file. So if for some reason you have a faulty plugin, or you update your theme and it breaks your website, then you can have these individual files that you restore to get your website working again, rather than having to restore the whole entire website. So this is nice that they break it into little subfolders within your big backup folder as a whole, so that you can, restore any individual things that might break your website over time. So once those are checked, then you can go ahead, scroll down here. If you want to have the backups emailed to you, you can do so, but in my case, when it's backing up daily, I don't want a daily email. That's going to get pretty annoying. So we're going to go ahead and leave that unchecked, and then you can go ahead and click Save Changes. All right, now after you click Save Changes, it's going to let you know that you've selected a remote storage option, Dropbox, and it's going to want you to link up with Dropbox. So go ahead and click this link, and it's going to bring you to the authorization page. So updraftplus.com would like to access its own folder. So you're going to need to go ahead and choose your Dropbox account to link the Updraft to. If you don't have a Dropbox account, you can create a new one. If you already have one, you can sign in, and then you're going to need to choose where you want this, what folder you want this to sync under within your Dropbox account. The same thing with Google Drive. If you're using Google Drive instead, you will come to an authorization page where you're going to need to sign into Google Drive and choose the folder to back up your site to. All right, once you've linked your Updraft Plus account to your Dropbox, it's going to go ahead and bring you to this page where you need to click Complete Setup. And that's it. It brings you back to the settings page for Updraft Plus. So now you've officially got everything all set up, and you're going to need to go ahead and back up your website now, because it needs you to manually back up the first time. So go ahead and click Backup Now. And then from then on, it's going to have an automated backup schedule that it runs on. So you don't ever have to worry about your website crashing or going down, because now this plugin is going to be backing up on a day-to-day basis and storing it in Dropbox. So while this is loading and backing up my website, we can see right now it's 40% of the way complete. So I'm going to go ahead and explain kind of the process as far as restoring your site. So let's say your website goes down and you need to access your backup. So what you can do is you can go into your Dropbox account, and you'll find the zip file of your website backed up from the previous day or the current day, depending on your settings of when you last backed it up. And you're going to need to download that from Dropbox to your computer. So once you've then downloaded that backup file to your computer, you can come into your WordPress website to the Updraft Plus backup settings, and under existing backups, you're going to find the link here that says Upload Backup Files. So you would click this link, and up would pop up the pop-up screen for you to find the backup file folder on your computer. You'd select it, and it would start uploading your backup, and then your WordPress site would be restored. The other option is you could go into your hosting account, into your FTP file manager, and you could upload all those different zip files that of your website being backed up into the FTP file manager in order to restore it that way as well, if for some reason you can't get into your WordPress account this way and do it manually through this plugin. And finally, they do have a premium version for this plugin, but as I mentioned, you can get away with just using the free version. It does everything you need, but you can go ahead and check out all the different premiums and extensions under the Premium Extensions tab. So that wraps up this video on the Updraft Plus WordPress backup plugin. So it's very important that from day one, when you set up your site, you install this plugin, hook it up to a third-party storage system like Google Drive or Dropbox, so that you can have automatic backups happen every day or every week of your website, which will greatly save you the headache and a lot of pain and sadness if for some reason you were to put all this hard work into your website and it crashed and you lost everything. So having a backup is one of the most important foundational steps to take when setting up your new website.